now?
We're live.
Okay, what are we talking about today?
Is there something you want to get off your chest?
Sure.
You can lead it if you like, but I mean, I got some stuff I want to talk about.
Okay, you go first.
Have you seen everyone knows Joe Rogan loves his psychedelics.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed that there's a lot of people in Bali that microdose psychedelics every day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you've seen it, but everyone's like, before you come to Dubai, can you get this? And the guy you call him comes to your house, looks like a little pharmaceutical bottle, like it's got labeling, everything. Nothing dodgy about it. It looks legit. It just looks like fish oil, right? Mm-hmm. And everyone's on like, I don't know. I showed you actually. We talked about this a couple of streams ago. And everyone here has microdosing psychedelics, which I can't do because I can't think at all if I've even got a little bit of psychedelics in me. So have everyone knows Joe Rogan pushes for mushrooms, pushes for psychedelics, loves it. Every podcast, every opportunity he takes, he looks at it. Did you see that he had a conversation with Trump about starting research on psychedelics for people that are suffering with PTSD, war, stuff like that?
Saw it, yep.
So
did Joe Rogan get rich before taking psychedelics or after taking psychedelics?
I don't know. You tell me. Did he get rich before he started taking psychedelics?
Before. Is Joe Rogan an outlier human?
Say that again. Joe Rogan got rich.
Did he get rich before taking psychedelics or after? Did he get in shape during his psychedelic journey? Or was this something he did after he was already rich, fit, and successful?
Don't know.
The answer is the latter. Taking advice from people that are already rich and successful, who then find, something within psychedelics, who are in a different stage of their life, is very different to the person who's done nothing that could potentially risk the remainder of his life by a psychedelic experience going wrong. I've seen it, you've seen it. I don't give a rat's what the clinical studies say anyway. Bro, since when have we trusted clinical studies? I don't read them anymore. I don't read papers anymore. Unless they are very objective papers. For example, this person got hit with a baseball bat and the leg broke. Okay. But when it comes to something subjective like this, since when have we believed in any of these papers? Remember the COVID vaccine? Plenty of papers suggested the vaccine was safe. Then what happened? 2 family members of mine were directly affected. One of them died. Sure, he was elderly, but he died. He died after the vaccine. So since when do we give a shit about psychedelic research? It's all about making money anyway. Now, is there nuance? Are there exceptions to this rule? Yes, there are specific scenarios whereby THC could be helpful for someone with epilepsy, for example.
Cancer,
for example, to help them, deal with their terminal illness. Same with psychedelics. But you have to be a total retard to think that putting psychedelics in the waterways for everyone is a good idea. The best idea, this is my opinion, this is our stream, is that I suggest for men to remain sober. Believe it or not, this whole, like I said, Western psychiatry, this model is that you got to add something rather than subtract. How about you just don't do the drugs that fuck you up in the first place for you to have to take more drugs? Can you believe that people are going to take drugs to not be addicted to other drugs? Just stop drugs. Just stop the fucking drugs, bro.
Okay, but prescription pills is not very easy to get off, right? People that are on prescription pills to sleep, if you get off it, you can die. I've got people in my family that says, I tried to get off it cold turkey and I felt there was spider webs around my feet.
Who said that you should come off an addictive drug cold turkey? Who told them to do that? No physician told them to do that. You taper, especially when it comes to, I think it's barbiturates and alcohol. I mean, alcohol is one of the drugs that you can't quit cold turkey without a very hard time, and potentially it can even be fatal.
Or even heroin and meth. You can't get off.
Heroin or meth typically aren't fatal. So alcohol, there is a greater chance at a fatality quitting cold turkey than meth and heroin. Again, these are just misconceptions. that normies have. Check it up if you don't believe me.
So I take it you're not for this then.
What is it exactly?
It's psychedelic. They're starting to do psychedelic. They're starting to use magic mushrooms, basically psychedelics, to use on people from the war that have PTSD and things like that, and they're pushing it for clinical studies so they can get it FDA approved.
Let's see the clinical research first.
Yeah.
If you have a look at what research we have thus far, they carefully filter out individuals that are not prone to certain psychiatric disorders. So right now, it's in its infancy stages. It's yet to be told. Just because Joe Rogan and Donald Trump are like, yeah, let's do it, bud, doesn't mean that they're God.
Yeah.
You know? Now, like I said, there are exceptions to the rule, but I will stand behind my advice to just remain sober. Again, this is a stoic model. This whole, looking within, introspection, thinking about your suffering. I'm not a stoic. I don't believe in this stoic way of life. Bring me the suffering. Bring everything that comes to me. It's what I want.
So your recommendation is stay sober.
Yep. Can't be bad advice. How could that be bad advice?
No.
You know what my dad used to say? When I was, maybe 16, 17, the peak of us taking drugs and drinking.
What did he say?
And I would have the low days. And I would have brief conversations with my father because we were, close enough. He would say, Daniel, he goes, at your age, I didn't have time to think about depression. I was too busy. They were so busy working that they didn't have time to think about depression or anxiety or even have time to take the drugs and alcohol. The reason you're taking drugs and alcohol is because you have the freedom and resources to do so. How are you taking the drugs and alcohol? You're not doing them if you're, under a microscope removing a tumor. Are ya? You're just not busy enough. You're just not doing anything important enough to stimulate yourself. That's why you take the fucking junk food. It's junk food. Let me get high, man. I had some comments yesterday. I made a reel about this.
Yeah.
I said, stay sober. And you had a couple of the comments say dumb shit like, yeah, it's such a cool experience. You get high. And I'm just like, bro, I'm fucking 36, cunt, not 16. Get high. Do you have kids, cunt? You want to be out of your mind and potentially lose your mind and you've got fucking kids to feed. Go to work, cunt. You get high. Fucking can't stand these cunts. These cunts that just want to continually be out of their mind.
They're numbing themselves.
I don't care what it is. For whatever reason, they do drugs. Some people want to escape. Some people want to numb themselves. Some people just want to see different colors and shit. When I used to take drugs, I wasn't numbing myself. I was like, let's get high. Sounds fun. You don't have this introspective analysis of why you want to get high at 14. You're like, fuck yeah, man. Sounds cool. Until it's not cool. Until you see countless examples of people trying to come up with every reason under the sun why they are suffering this depression and anxiety and just can't admit the fact that if they just quit alcohol and drugs for an extended period of time, they may get better. Oh, I haven't done drugs or alcohol for like 60 days or a year. Oh, I damaged my brain for years, but I want to recover in 3 days. That's not how it works, bro. This is physics. If you abuse yourself for years, it may take years to recover. It took me years to recover. It took me about, guys, no joke, it took me 5 years to recover. From drugs and alcohol. No more anxiety attacks, no more sleep disruption, no more down days, none of that. Correct the sleep, stay sober entirely. People often say, what, you don't go out like here and there? You don't like have a drink here and there? I never drink. I never take illicit drugs. Never. Not once, not ever. Even steroids. Steroids are off the menu. They count. They affect your mood and behavior too much. Even TRT, which I'm an advocate for if you need it. The moment you go outside of the physiological range and your estradiol does, it can now start to change behavior. Whereas with steroids, anabolic steroids specifically, the cousin or the derivatives of testosterone, the risk there is the long-term changes. It's not necessarily what happens to you in a day or 2 weeks. It's the long-term behavioral changes. Okay? When you enter puberty, you know, you're 13 or 14, the reason you look different at 13 as you do when you're 19 is because you've got 6 years of exposure to this hormone, this primary sex hormone. It doesn't happen in 6 days.